Every time the woman visited her husband Tony's grave, she was terrified to find expensive white wine and fruit on the tomb, and a luxury car worth millions of dollars just leaving the roadside. She couldn't understand why her husband, a poor laborer, had such wealthy people visiting his grave. At this moment, the mafia had pushed her to the brink of collapse. She even thought about taking her daughter and ending their lives. She still didn't know the wealthy people visiting Tony's grave had a very close connection with him. For 10 years, the man had been searching for Tony, but after 10 years, all he found was Tony's grave. When he learned that Tony had left behind a wife and daughter, he decided to find them and care for them for the rest of their lives. It turned out that 10 years ago, the man and Tony were good brothers. That year, the two were captured by the local Black Snake Gang. The gang told them that only one of them could survive, and threw down a knife, telling them it was either both die, or one of them had to die. The two looked at each other, both wanting to grab the knife, but Tony took the knife first. However, their actions were beyond the Black Snake Gang's expectations, because Tony stabbed himself in the stomach. Their actions moved the gang, who then let them both go. The man carried Tony to the hospital, where the doctor said surgery was needed, and it would cost at least 100,000 yuan. The man begged all his friends and relatives for money, but when he arrived at the hospital room, he found Tony had left, leaving him a letter. Tony didn't want to drag the man down, so he chose to leave secretly. 10 years passed quickly, and the man became the wealthiest person in town. Over the years, he never gave up searching for Tony. He still didn't know that Tony was currently receiving treatment at a hospital, but was being mistreated by bullies because of medical fees. His obedient daughter, in order to pay for his treatment, picked up bottles on the streets every day. Before he died, Tony gave his daughter a photo. It was a picture of him and the man. He told her that if she ever faced any trouble, she should find the man, and then he left this world. Soon, the man's subordinates reported they had found Tony, but he had already died. The man flew into a rage and ordered his men to investigate the cause of his death. No matter who was responsible for Tony's death, they would have to face his fury. One day, when Tony's wife was selling goods on the street, the wealthy man came to help with her business. He had been pursuing her for 3 years, but she still deeply loved her husband and had no intention of marrying anyone else. Suddenly, a few bullies started causing trouble. The wealthy man stepped in and drove them away, and told the woman to be with him, promising he could protect her, but she still refused him. The wealthy man wasn't angry. He smiled and left, but as soon as he turned around, his expression immediately changed. It turned out that the bullies were all his subordinates. Now, his patience had reached its limit to pursue the woman. He had even had Tony killed. That night, he brought his men to the woman's home and planned to assault her. At that moment, the daughter saw the photo her father had left her before his death. In order to stop her mother from being bullied any longer, she secretly dialed the phone number of the other father in the photo.